All right, so thank you everyone for coming. Welcome to the Criminal Justice Honor Society Conference Interest Meeting. We're gonna be talking a little bit about the conference going on next year in March. So yeah, please put your Panther IDs in the chat so we know who was attending, and we can follow up with you. Okay, I'm gonna make this icon a little smaller.
Please, really annoying.
So where is the conference going to be? At them. It's going to be in National Harbor, Maryland. It's going to be held at the Gaylord National Resort and Convention Center. This is a photo right here in the corner. It's massive. Every year the conference is held somewhere else. Last year it was Las Vegas. Here's a photo of some of the students from our branch who went last year. You'll see Christy right there. You'll see Nora, our vice president who attended, Dr. Cohn. A really awesome element of the conference is that a lot of students we take part in different games. People ask us questions. I heard that a lot of our members from last year won a few little awards, and those funds go towards our organization. The conference is going to be March 14th to the 18th of next year. I'll stay on the slide for a little bit so that people can take photos if you'd like, just so you know the date of when the conference is. You can also start to kind of plan around what may be happening for you around that time of year. I believe that the calendar for next year for classes and stuff is also already out for next year. So when classes start, things like that, holidays. I would take a photo of this slide because it does give you the dates of the conference.
May I interrupt?
Yeah, of course.
I will say two things. One is that this is not our spring break. Our FIU spring break will be 2 weeks earlier. For some reason, it's the last week of February this year. This coming on, but as the faculty advisor, I will happily give you a letter to give to your professors. If there's a problem about you missing class, I did this last year as well. I'll give you a letter saying that you will be missing classes because of a university sanctioned academic activity, and please, allow you to make up exams or whatever you might happen to be missing. So hopefully that should not be an issue. Most professors are pretty good about that, especially if it's a CJ professor. And if you have a CJ professor who's not, just tell me who they are and I'll go yell at them. I'm very good at that.
Take care of you. Okay, also we're going to be reviewing the chat after we get through most of the slides. So if you have any questions, you can always just plug them in the chat and then we'll answer them near the end of the slideshow. Also, my vice president, Noor, is going to be talking a little bit about her experience at the conference. Dr. Cohen may chime in. Our former president, Christy, may chime in about what they experienced at the conference and just all the amazing elements of it. So moving on to the next slide. So reasons to go to the conference. There are many, but these are the ones that we kind of laid out for you guys, just so you know what you're kind of getting with the experience. You get to learn about professional opportunities. At the conference, we're meeting other communities that are under the umbrella of Alpha Phi Sigma. So we are FIU Sigma Phi Alpha. This is just our location. But when we go to the conference, there are going to be so many other students who are also big criminal justice nerds, and you're going to be able to meet them. There are alumni who are going to be at this event as well, which is really cool. So it's a great opportunity to network, awesome leadership opportunities. You never know who you may bump into. When you go to graduate school, you never know if that might be your future professor. So that's really cool. You get to participate in different competitions. We actually made an original t-shirt design last year that we didn't get to bring to the conference, but this year we may. There are a lot of different cool things that you can do, and I'm sure Nora can kind of branch out about the competitions at the conference. Additionally, there are scholarship opportunities, as well as making really fun memories with your friends. When we go to the conference together as an organization, we are all going to be working as a team. You're going to be seeing these people outside of a school environment. We're going to be in a different state. So it's just a really, really cool place to make new memories. And it's a really great way of spending your college experience. Nor, Christy, do you want to chime in on the slideshow a little bit?
Christy, go first.
Sorry, I'm sorry,
You got it.
So from both Nora and I's experience, it was a lot of fun. I want to basically emphasize the scholarship opportunities, because as they word it as a scholarship, but in reality it's a raffle. you get these tickets as long as you attend the events early, you get a ticket. They might do it the same way this year. And then throughout the events, they would give out these envelopes with money in them. And that money it's literally yours. Like I think Nor got one. I didn't get one. I got one for the organization, but I didn't get a personal one. Kind of salty about that, but that's okay. Um, but then the chapter itself ends up gaining money as well through these scholarship opportunities too. As Dr. Cohn mentioned in a comment, there is a CSI competition that as a group we have to figure out and solve a crime scene, and it's really fun. And then we have like a certain timeline to write out everything, get pictures, and it's really interactive. Leadership opportunities, it's mostly like networking. There were guest speakers there. You network with people not only in our state, because we have other universities in our state that participate in the conference, but you also participate and network with other professionals in our field. I think last time we had a guest speaker that he worked for the FBI field office in Las Vegas. So you get to not only like talk to him personally, meet him, but you also learn about different things in our field as well. So it's really fun. I think you guys should go. It was awesome.
I also want to chime in a little bit about the scholarship opportunities. I know Christy said that when you earn that personal money, it's in a raffle, which is yes, true. But I know Alyssa sent out a email and information in the WhatsApp group chat where you have the opportunity to earn scholarship money, such as like writing an essay. There was also, I don't remember all of them. I know that an essay is involved, a personal statement is involved, I believe, as well.
There's
And
a
you can earn-
scholarship quiz, remember? The
Yes,
the-
there's
the-
a
criminal justice test, quote unquote.
yes, there's that one too. So just in case you didn't win from that specific raffle, I would say definitely look into the scholarship page. It's money up to like $2,000, $500, $1,000. It's great opportunities, and just think about it like you're writing a paper for your class. It takes one day out of your whole entire week or month. And you take the time to craft it, and you can make good money out of it. And you get recognized as an award from Alpha Phi Sigma and headquarters. So yeah.
Thank you so much for everyone for chiming in. Obviously, my e-board's really amazing. I did not have the opportunity to go to the conference last year, but I'm super excited to go this year with you and be able to experience all these things. Also, as an organization, we will be taking part in different little kind of like elements of the conference. Like we've been collecting photos throughout the school year of events that we've hosted, and that's going to go towards a yearbook competition. So a yearbook of like Sigma Phi Alpha. And if we win that money, that goes towards future events for our organization. So that's really exciting. So yeah, this is a really cool layered conference. And like I said, you never know who you may meet at this conference. So it's a really great opportunity for you towards your future. Okay, expectations for students attending the conference, right? So as you can see, a lot of our members who attended the conference were students who really loved attending events that we hosted, kind of taking part when we have guest speaker events, just learning about different opportunities for your future. So when we go to the conference, we would really appreciate if everyone attended all of the events on time. The closer we get to the conference, I'm sure we'll get, dedicated times towards when it starts, when it ends. Additionally, students are responsible for the cost of food and travel to the conference and during the conference. So students will be responsible for their flight to the conference and their flight back home. Additionally, you'll be responsible for your own food while you're at the conference. If you and a few maybe other members of our organization want to go and grab like coffee at like a nearby coffee shop, you'd be responsible for your Uber, for your coffee, for your muffin, so things like that. Additionally, we would really appreciate if students dressed in business casual attire or smart casual, as Dr. Cohn expressed. So, if you have a nice trousers, maybe a cute skirt, maybe even like nice pants, we just really appreciate that. I'm going to push this up a little bit. And a really big element is you're representing FIU when you attend this conference. So please just be very respectful of everyone at the conference, your fellow colleagues, because you also represent us at Sigma Phi Alpha when you're going to this conference. Nor, do you want to add anything else to this slide?
I think you covered all points. I'll just stress on really attending all the events on time. At the end of the day, we are there for the conference and we are there representing not just our faculty, not just our advisor, but you're representing me, Alyssa, our whole entire e-board and headquarters. I mean, who doesn't want to be like the best school there? I mean, I can definitely say we were in Miami last year, so it's okay. But other than the fact of that, like I said, when you attend all events on time, you get rewarded for that. Also, you get to have your fun. So don't think it's just like your whole entire trip is the conference. Yes, but no, like at the end of the night, when you're done with the conference, that's your you time. But think of it like you're going to class. You should be there on time and be respectful. But that's all I have to say. I believe like we're all smart students, so you know what business casual and smart attire is as well.
Absolutely. Additionally, another reason that we wanted to inform all of you students about this conference now in November of 2022 is because this conference is March of next year, but it's important that we wanted you all to be able to prepare financially. Like I said, and I really, Noor, Dr. Cohn, Christy, and I, everyone on the e-board wants people to have the opportunity to plan in advance. Because you could, if you bought your plane tickets now, that may be way more affordable than if you were to buy them a month before the conference. And we don't want anyone to feel like we didn't give them a reasonable amount of time beforehand. This is a really great opportunity, and we just want all students to feel included and welcome, but also just know the facts, what you'd be paying for, food, and the travel to and from. So yeah, of course.
Also, you're paying for any entertainment, souvenirs, and Alpha Phi Sigma gear, because National will have a huge series of tables selling absolutely anything you can possibly imagine that says Alpha Phi Sigma on it. So, and obviously you pay for that.
Absolutely.
Before we begin with the cost of the conference, I was just aware about the scholarship I was telling you all about. You do have to be a national member. And since we're inducting you guys in December, if you become a national member by then you're more than welcome to apply to the scholarships. But it says that every scholarship applicant must be an Alpha Phi Sigma member at the time of the submission. So look into it and then submit after your induction so you can be a fully Alpha Phi Sigma member.
Another reason to email us if you have any questions about your points or what you would receive as a national member and things of that such. You can always ask us and we'll do our best to answer it in a timely manner.
I would like to chime in before we start going into the costs. Alyssa, can you go back up to the slide before, please? I really want to emphasize representing FIU. I know we're having fun and everything, and it's like an academic setting for most of the time. But I would like to emphasize that not only are you representing our chapter, but you're also representing our school. And I think there's a little bit more pressure considering that Dr. Shern, who's director or president of headquarters, has very good relations with FIU. She is currently doing a class at FIU. I think it's like involving recidivism and inmates. And then she used to be one of our advisors, and most of the board are FIU alumni or honorary members of our chapter. So it'd be great to not only respect and represent our school, but also show them respect. And also we're representing Dr. Cohn as well. We wouldn't want to make our school look like a joke. So please keep that in mind.
I just want to second a lot of what Christy said. Also, by the way, Dr. Sharon wasn't just a former advisor. She was one of the founding members of our department, of the CJ department at FIU. So she's and she was the faculty advisor for our chapter of Alpha Phi Sigma for forever. I think she founded our chapter of Alpha Phi Sigma, and now she is the director. She's the director of the national headquarters. So yes, we definitely don't want to look bad in front of her. The attending all events is very important. On time is very important, because again, when you get there on time, you get that little ticket, and that little ticket is what gives you a chance to win money on the Friday, because if you don't have those tickets, you're not winning them. Plus, I believe if we have a certain number of members who attend a certain number of events, we get like our dues waived for next year or something.
Yes,
It's some
yeah.
benefits for that. And also, frankly, like Christy said, we want to look good, and we usually, we show up, like you see in the pictures here, we had a jersey that we all wore last year, and we'll probably have something that we'll make for everybody. I think the chapter covered like half the cost of the jersey, and everybody chipped in and they paid the other half. But we'll probably have something like that again. So when we show up at the different events, we usually sit together. There's a clear FIU presence. And if there's only a few of us, that's going to be noticeable. And if there's like a whole table or more of us, that's going to be noticeable. So yeah, the more events you attend, the more chances you have of winning as well. And money's always nice. And honestly, a lot of the events are really interesting. I mean, and a lot of them is fun. I mean, a lot of this is just, it's fun. It is fun. So, okay, I'll shut up now.
Thank you so much for everyone for coming in, and everything that Christy, Dr. Cohn, Nora, and I are saying. We're saying because we want all of you to come in with the right mindset, to be aware of all of the elements going into the conference, about prices, about how to represent our organization, and the people that you may bump into who have roots in our organization. So yeah, we just want everyone to be clear on like kind of what you're going into with the conference, but it's really fun. It's a great opportunity. Going into the nitty gritty, we're gonna be talking about the cost of the conference. So we are asking students to do a mandatory deposit of $100. This is gonna be a physical check. Deadline would be around December 10th. Obviously, like if another hurricane comes, God forbid, like dates may change, weather, things like that. We're very understanding. But as of right now, the deposit would be $100 like last year, just to say, hey, I'm definitely coming to the conference. Here's my check of $100. When you get your flight, when you go to the conference and everything, we'll give you your mandatory deposit back. It's more so just to secure that you're going to be coming to the conference with our.
Actually, no, Alyssa, sorry, excuse me for interrupting. We give you the check back after the conference.
Okay.
We will not cash your check.
No,
Okay?
we're not going to do
The
that.
reason for the check, honestly, is because we're paying your hotel. And if you come and basically blow off the conference and just go and have fun and don't come to any events, we'll keep the check. The check is just a guarantee that you will show up and actually attend stuff. Yeah, because if not, we're paying for a hotel for somebody who basically is just using us to get a free vacation, a hotel to go on a vacation. But we will not cash the check. At the end, everybody last year, we just handed them their checks back when we got back to Miami, and I'm expecting to do exactly the same thing this year because we got a really good chapter, and I don't see anybody blowing us off. Yeah. So it's just to like remind you to please actually, it's just a little bit of a protection for us. To help cover the cost of a hotel for somebody who blows us off.
So
But if
Jennifer actually made a good point, because no offense to you guys, I know you guys might want to do it different. I did ask for the check the day that they got there. Because I know for most of the students, they might not live near campus, or they might not have a way to give the student, like to give you guys the physical check. When we get to the hotel, in our first meeting, that's when you can be like, hey,
here's my check.
deposit. Like, here's my check.
That's fair. Because yeah, we don't really need it in advance, Alyssa, because honestly, it's to guarantee them actually participating. Not to guarantee them going, I guess.
We can
Because
talk
we
about
do
that
understand
later.
people have to drop out.
We can talk about that later. Alyssa, we'll decide. I mean, I'm still okay with having it before, but whatever you want.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So just a heads up, everyone, the deposit would be $100, a physical check. Hearing it now, I agree. I don't even live near MMC. I know a lot of students don't live near their MMC campus. Getting there that day, December 10th, may be difficult for some students. So we'll discuss it later, but just so you know, if you can only get the check the day of, like when we get to the hotel, that's understandable. We're very amenable. Another element of the cost of the conference is you're responsible for transportation, food, and entertainment, as previously mentioned. We just wanted to be very, very clear, like throughout this interest meeting, that like your flight to, the location, your flight back home, Ubers that you may take back and forth, all of these things are things that you would be paying for. Food while you're at the conference, if you want to go out to dinner with friends or something, that's something that you would be paying for. And entertainment, like if you went to go see a show or a movie or something like that, another element you'd be paying for. Hence why we're telling you now, so you can budget accordingly. A thing that we will be paying for is, or partially or paying for the hotel room in general, is the hotel rooms at the conference we will be paying for. Noor can talk about it a little bit about kind of sharing the hotel room with another group of women. When we say we're paying for the hotel room, if there's 2 beds to the hotel room, 2 people are sharing a bed, 2 people are sharing a bed, and you're sharing the space while you're at the conference, we are paying for the hotel room as long as you're the only one attending. If you bring your partner or if you bring your mom or something, you'd be paying for your own room. But if you're just attending as one member, we will pay for your hotel room. We will be splitting up the hotel rooms, women in one hotel room, people who identify as male in one hotel room, just so that it's separated and everyone's comfortable. Obviously, if you feel more comfortable, we know that, COVID's still going on. If you feel more comfortable and you can afford to, we understand if people want to get their own rooms, like we get that. But if you are okay with sharing a room with other members, and, we will cover your room. So just communicate with us if it's a special case that you have. Nora, is there anything that you want to say, or Dr. Cohn or Christy?
Yeah, so I can tell you guys a little bit about what it was like sharing a room. I flew with the girls that I was sharing the room with. Like it was just 3 girls in one room. I didn't have a problem with it. I'm sure the girls didn't have a problem with it either. We stayed up late at night just laughing. We waited until the sun came up, had 2 hours of sleep. And honestly, I loved being with someone else in the room because I cannot wake up for the life of me. So it motivated me to really get up early, and we're like, let's get these raffles. But everybody has their preferences. So see, Jennifer just said team no sleep, because we really had no sleep, but it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't find a problem in it, but everyone has their preferences. So I hope like it'll work out for you too, but yeah.
I will stress that nobody has to share a room with me, which would really put a damper on your fun, I think, to have to share a room with the professor. So don't worry about that.
Okay. So we're going to move on to the next slide. If anyone wants to take a photo of this slide, you absolutely can. I'll also be emailing these slides in a follow-up email with the sign-up sheet as an Excel. If you, after this meeting, are still very much interested in attending the conference, I will be sending a email tomorrow morning about, hey, I'm still interested in going to the conference. I for sure want to do this. Here's my email and everything. And then we'll follow up with an email with you, and we'll go from there.
We really hope you still will be.
Yeah, we are very excited to hear from the students who are still very much interested in going to the conference. Okay, so we're gonna do questions now. I'm gonna look at this chat a little bit. Sorry, I'm gonna make that a little larger. Oh, that's huge. Okay.
There's no questions on the chat.
Okay. Does anyone want to unmute themselves if you have any questions? I want to stop sharing.
There's no stupid questions. Like I promise you, whatever question that you have, I asked so many stupid questions last year.
They weren't stupid.
No, you
They
didn't.
weren't yes, they weren't stupid, but I asked so many, but it helped me like really understand. Like this was my first time traveling with a group of people I really didn't know. And I'm not that I was concerned. I was just, who are these people? But I asked questions, I got really comfortable with them. And so like, this is literally your perfect time to ask questions. It could be about the place that we're at, what to do if, it's 3 a.m. and you're starving and you want to, like, you never know. So you just ask your questions.
Oh, additionally, there's going to be a form for the students who are for sure going to the conference. There's going to be a form that we request that you fill out for RSO. That way we can make sure that, they are aware that you're going to be going to the conference with us. It's just a document that we have to have filled out for students who are attending. So we'll also be emailing that to the students who are like, yes, I'm definitely going to be going. So we can have that on file and give that to RSO. So just a heads up. Does anyone have
Jennifer was at the conference. I don't know if you want to unmute yourself and, you kind of give your experience. Because I feel like I'm saying my experience. I don't know, like if you guys relate with me or not, but maybe you can relate with somebody else.
We did a tour last year. We did a tour last year of the Mob Museum in Vegas. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that was not just us, it was the whole Alpha Phi Sigma. And I actually emailed National recently because there's a couple of really cool crime-related museums. There's a spy museum of all things.
Well, I love the Spy
And
Museum.
I'm suggested it, and I'm really hoping they will organize another tour, because the Spy Museum was very cool. I thought it was so much fun. So I'm
And
hoping that-
museums in general, in the DC areas is.
yeah, well, yeah, I grew up in the DC area, so
I love
I mean,
it.
I spent every weekend practically in DC when I was a kid. My parents loved the Smithsonian, so they dragged us there constantly.
About the conference. Oh, and the Cherry Blossom event.
Will we be there for that? Will we be there for the
Yes,
cherry blossom?
Yes and no, yes
Oh.
and no. Because yes, we will be there during that week when it starts off, except we will be mostly during the day doing all the conference stuff.
Darn.
If you choose to extend your stay, I would recommend extending it maybe a few days or maybe even a week, because it lasts, I think, until March 20th, if I remember. That's if we get there when the cherry blossoms start to, again, blossom, but there might be a chance that they might bloom a little later. Around that time is when they start, from what my best friend says. But again, it all depends on the timing and of course other factors that make the cherry blossoms bloom.
Yeah, they bloom when they want to bloom, not necessarily when we want them to. They're
Yeah.
very inconsiderate that way.
Does anyone have any questions about the conference? Obviously, we'll be emailing you the slideshow as well as the YouTube video and just some bullet points of the things that we discussed. Tomorrow morning.
Change the info about the check.
Yes, we'll be changing that. info.
Also, if you guys don't feel comfortable flying alone, I'm most likely flying from Fort Lauderdale. I know Christy might be flying from Miami. Alyssa might be flying from Fort Lauderdale as well. So
So
you
will I.
have,
Yeah.
and so will you. Okay, so you have options of flying with people from either airport if you're not comfortable flying alone. And I don't know if we mentioned this, I'm not sure, but if you are bringing a friend, a significant other, your partner, your room is not paid for. So you'll have to pay for that one on your own, just because this is a chapter event and they're not part of the chapter. But that's just like FYI, if you wanted to bring somebody.
Yeah, so
Maddie has a
actually
couple of
had a
good
question.
questions.
Yeah,
Maddie, the conference itself is 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Last year, most of us flew in on Tuesday. So we could
Tuesday, yeah.
be there
It gave
Wednesday
us a whole
morning.
day to rest.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
at the time, we had to take into consideration jet lag.
yeah,
We
because
were at a
it was Vegas.
3-hour difference.
Yeah.
This time we're on the East Coast, so
The,
we recommend a day.
Yeah, but I mean, if you fly in on Tuesday, I think Wednesday morning, there'll be like a free breakfast. Every morning they do a free breakfast. They do breakfast for everybody. That's provided by National. So breakfast is pretty much included if you want to go up in the morning, and you get a ticket for going to the breakfast event too.
That's if they do the ticket thing this year
Huh?
too.
They did it for breakfast.
No, that's if they continue with the ticket.
Yeah,
They
I'm
might
sure
do
they will.
something different.
I'm
They
sure, I don't
probably
see
will.
why they wouldn't. They've done it every time I've gone. So usually, I mean, the first day, breakfast usually around 8-ish, I think. And then around 9:30 or so, they usually start. I believe on Wednesday, it really doesn't start till around noon, the first day. They have this big grand opening event and stuff.
Sorry to cut you off, but keep in mind registration. That's just,
Yes, there's the registration you gotta go through. We usually ends about 5. I think, we're thinking it ended no later than 5, sometimes a little earlier.
Five
hotel
is the
is-
latest.
Yeah, the hotel and the conference center are one building. They're together. We're not going anywhere. This thing, I have not been to this one, but I have been to the Gaylord Palms in Orlando, and it is the size of Cleveland. I mean, it is huge and it was amazing. It has this whole interior area that's makes you feel like you're outside, as I recall. They
It's
had
gorgeous. They have like in the
absolutely gorgeous.
middle, it's like a see-through, so you get so
Yeah.
much sunlight. And I
Yeah.
was stalking the Gaylord Palm, for the one that we're going to. They have like I don't know, for whoever's 21 and up. There is an amazing rooftop. So after the conference, there's amazing vibe, like the view. So we could do that as a group, or if you guys prefer alone. So there's like plenty, if you don't want to leave the hotel, so much to do.
There's a
at the
ton of stuff
hotel.
to do, and yeah.
Mhm.
I went with my family a few years back, pre-COVID, like for the holidays, and it was like, why leave the hotel? You know, there was so many things going on. Also, speaking of over 21, I don't know if anyone, I think everyone here in this call is over 21, probably, but as a mention, and yes, Jennifer, I agree. As a mention for future reference, anyone under 21, I am fully aware of what goes on. This is being recorded, so, but please do not put me in a position of having to see you doing, for example, underage drinking. Because if I see you, then I have a problem, because I am the official professor and the, you know, the chaperone and all of that. So please don't put me in a position where I have to do something official, okay? I'm saying this as carefully as I can because it is being recorded. Jennifer, I would love to have dinner on the Eiffel Tower. We're going to be about 3,000 miles away, but I'm sure in either direction, either to Vegas or to Paris. But I would be happy to, I think it would be great to plan a group dinner somewhere on this, because we had, for those, we